This podcast is based on an interview with Nancy Harhut, the author of Using Behavioral Science in Marketing, Draw of Customer Action and Loyalty by Prompting Instinctive Responses. Today, we're diving into some fascinating insights from Nancy that can help small business owners, freelancers, and indie hackers effectively apply behavioral science principles to their marketing strategies. As we navigate the world of marketing, it's essential to understand how our customers think and make decisions. Nancy emphasizes that much of our decision-making happens subconsciously. This means that as marketers, understanding these instinctive responses can significantly enhance our ability to drive customer action and loyalty. One key takeaway is the importance of making information easy to process. For instance, Nancy mentions the effectiveness of slogans that rhyme, like "Nationwide is on your side." The rhyme makes it more memorable and believable. So when creating your brand messaging, consider using simple, catchy phrases that resonate with your audience. This can be particularly useful for small business owners who often have limited marketing budgets and need to make a strong impact with their communications. Next, let's talk about the concept of loss aversion. Behavioral science shows that people are more motivated to avoid loss than to achieve gains. For small business owners, this means that instead of just highlighting the benefits of a product or service, you could frame your messaging around what customers might miss out on if they don't act. For example, instead of saying, "Get a 20% discount," you might say, "Don't miss out on 20% savings." This subtle shift can create a sense of urgency and encourage quicker decision-making among potential customers. Nancy also shares an interesting case study involving a direct mail campaign for a client selling disability insurance to dentists. The original campaign was underperforming, but after applying behavioral science principles, they included a chart that highlighted where the dentist stood in terms of insurance coverage. By showing them that most of their peers were opting for more coverage, they created a magnetic middle that encouraged dentists to reconsider their choices. This approach led to a 49% lift in response rates. For small business owners, this example illustrates the power of making comparisons clear to your audience. It can guide them toward the desired action. Another fascinating principle discussed is autonomy bias. People inherently desire control over their choices. When marketers provide options, we empower our customers. However, Nancy cautions against overwhelming them with too many choices, which can lead to analysis paralysis. Instead, offering a small number of well-defined options can help guide customers toward making a decision more confidently. For instance, if you're a freelancer offering services, consider presenting 3 distinct packages, each with clear benefits. This not only gives potential clients a sense of choice, but also helps them feel more in control of their decision. It shifts the focus from whether they should hire you to which package best suits their needs. We also touched on the principle of reciprocity, which speaks to our natural tendency to want to return favors. Nancy illustrates this with a classic example from charity solicitations. People often feel compelled to donate when they receive personalized address labels in the mail. For small businesses, this principle can translate into valuable marketing strategies. Consider offering free resources, samples, or consultations as a way to build goodwill and encourage future interactions or purchases. As you craft your marketing strategies, think about how you can implement these behavioral science principles. The insights shared by Nancy can help you create more effective messaging and campaigns that resonate with your audience. In the second half of this episode, we will dive deeper into additional principles from Nancy's book, including the paradox of choice, and explore more actionable steps you can take right away to enhance your marketing efforts. Stay tuned for some powerful insights that can elevate your business strategies. Whether you're a solo entrepreneur or part of a small team, remember that understanding the psychology behind consumer behavior can set you apart in a crowded market. These are just a few of the ways you can leverage behavioral science in your marketing to drive engagement and ultimately loyalty. As we dive deeper into the insights shared by Nancy, one particularly engaging example is the concept of using humor and personal touch in marketing. Nancy recounts a campaign for a financial marketing firm aimed at reactivating financial advisors who had stopped selling their funds. Instead of sending promotional materials to encourage sales, they crafted a unique, memorable approach. They sent an email to the advisors hinting at a special gift arriving soon, creating anticipation. A few days later, a box arrived in the mail, containing a framed New Yorker cartoon that humorously depicted a situation related to selling retirement funds, personalized with each advisor's name. Along with this cartoon was a note expressing how much the company missed them and encouraging a conversation. This creative approach resulted in an impressive $68 million lift in incremental revenue. This case beautifully illustrates the principle of reciprocity. When we receive something unexpected and personalized, It creates a sense of obligation to respond positively. For small business owners and freelancers, this example serves as a powerful reminder of the impact of thoughtful gestures in client relations. Consider how you might apply similar tactics in your own business. Perhaps sending a handwritten note or a small gift can reignite connections with past clients or customers. Now, let's explore the rhyme as reason effect, which Nancy explains as a fascinating psychological phenomenon. Research shows that people perceive rhyming phrases as more truthful and accurate than those that do not rhyme. For instance, phrases like, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit," are not only catchy but also leave a lasting impression. This principle can be particularly beneficial for small business owners crafting slogans, subject lines, or calls to action. When creating your marketing materials, think about how you can incorporate rhymes or rhythmic phrases. It doesn't require you to be a poet. Even a well-placed rhyme in your email subject line or a tagline can significantly enhance its memorability and perceived truthfulness. For example, consider a fitness coach who might use a tagline like, "Get fit, don't quit." This small adjustment can lead to greater engagement and response from your audience. Moving on, Nancy discusses temporal landmarks and temporal discounting, which are concepts that delve into how timing affects consumer behavior. Temporal landmarks refer to significant dates or events that create a fresh start or motivation to change. Think about how New Year's Day inspires resolutions. It's a moment when people feel empowered to make changes. As a small business owner, you can leverage these landmarks in your marketing strategies. For instance, consider promoting a new service or product at the start of a new month or during back-to-school season. Tailor your campaigns to align with these significant timeframes, encouraging your audience to take action as they feel the push of a fresh start. On the flip side, temporal discounting highlights our tendency to favor immediate rewards over future gains. This is critical for businesses selling long-term benefits such as insurance or investment services. Nancy cites an example of a bank that effectively addressed this by prompting customers to think about their future selves. They ask customers if their future self would want more money, tapping into their present desires while framing it in the future context. For business owners, the takeaway here is to create messaging that bridges the gap between current desires and future benefits. You might consider using visuals or scenarios that represent the future benefits of your products or services. For example, if you're selling a health supplement, show images of healthy, active individuals enjoying life as they age. Help customers visualize the long-term rewards of their immediate purchases. As we wrap up this insightful discussion, Nancy highlights common mistakes that marketers make, which can be avoided by applying behavioral science principles. One frequent pitfall is focusing too heavily on the company's perspective rather than the customer's. When crafting your messaging, prioritize the word "you" over "we." Remember that customers are more interested in how your product or service benefits them. Another mistake is using jargon or complex language, which can alienate your audience. Strive for clarity and simplicity in your communications. Even in B2B environments, people appreciate straightforward language that makes it easy for them to grasp your message quickly. Finally, consider the importance of understanding why potential customers may hesitate to act. By addressing potential objections directly in your marketing materials, you can alleviate concerns and encourage action. Ask yourself what might prevent someone from making a purchase and proactively offer solutions. As we conclude today's episode, remember that understanding behavioral science can provide valuable tools for enhancing your marketing strategies. By applying these principles, you can create more compelling messages, foster stronger relationships with clients, and drive greater engagement. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of behavioral science in marketing. I hope you found Nancy's insights as enlightening as I did. If you'd like to learn more about her work, be sure to check out her book, Using Behavioral Science in Marketing, which is packed with practical advice for small business owners like you. Until next time, keep experimenting with your marketing strategies, learn from your audience, and embrace the principles of behavioral science to elevate your business. Let's create marketing that not only engages, but also resonates deeply with those we aim to serve. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.